January 23, 2011, the night Paula Perry thought would be her last.
I was so afraid that he might try to do something else, like kill me.
It was about 5:30 in the evening. Paula was on her way to the post office. She was walking down this street when she says her attacker pulled up alongside her, telling her he'd just been released from prison. That's when she says he jumped out of his car, pulled his pants down, and exposed himself. Paula froze. Next thing she knew, she was in the man's car.
He parked his car in the alley. The next thing I know, he gets on top of me. I could not move. I remember the windows fogged.
You must have been terrified.
I was.
Did you say to him, get off me, or what?
I just kept saying, please stop. Please stop.
Paula says the man raped her repeatedly, then by some miracle, agreed to let her go. Shivering and alone, Paula made her way here to Henry Ford Hospital. She told a nurse she'd been raped and agreed to an exam. Doctors photographed and swabbed her, a humiliating experience, but necessary to collect evidence for a so-called rape kit. Doctors collected DNA evidence so the police could catch the man who raped her. She couldn't have been more wrong. It turns out that rape kit, the one with the rock-solid evidence of who attacked her, just sat on a shelf. So did thousands, that's right, thousands of other rape kits in this warehouse. Never processed, never investigated, never any arrests.
You have women going through these 4 to 10 hour exams and have their evidence sitting on a shelf. It's just not right.
Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy sounded the alarm on untested rape kits back in 2009. That's when her office discovered 11,341 untested rape kits in a city warehouse. The kits, they later realized, went back 30 years. All that time, the women who the kits belonged to expected police to be using that evidence to help catch their attackers. Detroit has completed testing on 2,000 of the rape kits. Another 8,000 are in the process of being tested. Of those that are done, Worthy says they've identified 188 serial rapists. 188. Sadly, she expects to find more.
Rapists rape on average of 11 times. So again, anytime you stop one rapist by getting their DNA into the database and being able to investigate and prosecute, you're stopping many more rapes from occurring.
It's all led to a unique and desperate situation. Cash-strapped Detroit has run out of money to take the next step, prosecute the rapists. You heard right, they don't have enough money to keep these rapists off the street. So Worthy's office, along with the Michigan Women's Foundation and the Detroit Crime Commission, have started a new campaign called Enough Said. The goal is to raise $10 million. Detroit has already prosecuted 15 cases, but Worthy says she's expected to indict as many as 3,000 more men.
It's morally degrading to have someone to assault you, to rob you of your dignity, your pride, and they just said, we'll put it on the shelf.
Turns out Paula Perry's rape kit wasn't processed either. About 9 months after she was raped, October 2011, a man matching her attacker's description was picked up in Ohio for attempted abduction. She identified him in a lineup. That's when she learned her rape kit had never been tested. While his DNA and Paula's kit sat on a shelf, Alondo Steele was out there, lurking, stalking, maybe even raping.
This guy was out there continuing to assault people.
Yes, yes.
And you had done a rape kit.
Yes, and they just said, we'll just store it. They
and
didn't
it just
say,
went on a shelf.
Yep, just like the other kids.
2.5 years after she was raped, Paula finally met her attacker in court and testified against him. He was sentenced to up to 15 years in prison. At least her attacker is behind bars. But still, thousands of women in Detroit are left wondering if their case will ever be prosecuted.